And really, people don't know what the hell they're talking about. So if you just sell them on something and make them feel good about it,
Yeah, man.
they'll feel great about it.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Completely.
Okay, so anyway, take 2. Take 1 is what I meant to say. Now that we have everything working, Eric Bruce Davis, might I add.
Here I
cheers,
am.
since they can't see the last cheers.
Double cheers. Man. Good
The second cheers. We were on such an amazingly good roll, and I have no fear that we'll get it back. But at the same time, I'm glad I have that just for my archives. That'll be like Ben's private select.
I dig it.
Yeah, my nuggets that I just get to watch through when I'm sad and 31 and not 30.
Patreon subscribers only. Wait, did you just turn 30 today?
I did, dude.
Oh,
Dude,
what?
Yes.
These are the first moments?
These are the first
Wait,
moments.
we're less than 2 hours into you being
We
30?
are not even 2 hours into me being 30.
That is like
Horrible.
a really big deal.
I actually like it.
You chilling?
So far, dude, the panic attack that I had before you got here wasn't that bad.
Did you really have one?
No.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Just like, no, I lost my shit. Like, okay, so for the first half of me being 29, I actually did. I was just kind of like, God, like,
Yeah.
just because I knew that the next, like when you turn 29, it's sort of like a middle finger. It's just like, yeah, have fun with that age.
Totally.
How old are you? 29. I'm not
like,
committed to 30, and I'm not in my 20s anymore. Exactly. Yeah. Not that I'm 30 though. I'm like, you young social media users, you get off my lawn.
Nice.
Just leave me alone. I want to be in
Nice.
peace. I don't know. I've been 30 for 2 hours, so I really have
You're
no
already
idea.
claiming it.
Have you done it yet?
Have I turned 30?
Have you been 30 yet?
I'm currently 28.
So you haven't been 30 yet.
I've yet to be 30.
Oh, man,
I plan on doing it.
You got to try it. It's great.
I'm a little concerned.
It's very concerning.
Yeah.
It's not a good feeling. Really, everything where you're just like, everything's great. It's like just a smile of just like dentures and just like plastic surgery holding it up. I promise it's fantastic.
Lots of Viagra.
I've so much Viagra. Yeah, basically, I can't even poop by myself anymore. I need like an
Nice.
assistant or something. One of those
Nice.
chairs that go up the stairways.
Yeah, I love it.
One of those buttons. Houston, I have a problem. I'm falling and I can't get up.
Life alert.
Yeah, life alert. That's the one.
That would have been such a. I wish I knew it was your 30th birthday, so
Oh my
I could
God.
have shown up with a life alert present for you.
If you would have done that. Oh my God. It's over now. I'm dead.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, so
perfect.
let's attempt to recover
I'm
some
down.
of what we
Super down.
some of what we got done with already. So, and it is actually a point of curiosity, and luckily, most of my questions about the process of doing the 365-day album were not answered yet. So we can
great.
actually genuinely pick up
Oh, totally.
where we left off.
100%.
To give background, though, I had asked what motivated you to do it, because I actually do still want to hear more about that, because to me, you probably, it almost seems to me like if you do something like that, you probably don't even notice that you're doing it for the first, I don't know, 60 days, 100 days, how maybe first third or less. And then when you really work into the middle, like we were saying, the middle becomes the hardest part, where you're just like, oh my God, it's not over. It's no longer fresh. It's not just beginning. This could be a really painful process, Did the pain of the process like ever weigh on you at all?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, especially in the middle, because most of those videos have like 15 views.
Oh yeah.
So
I asked you about that when First Fire played the Absurd's Residency of the Satellite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I asked you, was that it? I think that was it, because that was March, and you were on like
Probably.
day 60 something.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, so is this gaining you? And you're like,
Oh yeah.
I don't know, man, not really. I'm like, fuck, man. So you are just doing this for you.
Yeah, and that was encouraging, because the whole thing from the get-go was like a personal challenge and like doing it for me.
Yeah.
And Instagram really helped me like with public accountability. Like
Yeah.
there's an extra layer of like, I fucking need to do this
Yes.
or else everyone's going to know that I
Yes.
didn't do it.
Yeah.
And then also, I had always felt really uncomfortable on Instagram and with Instagram. So
Yeah.
I figured that if I forced myself to interact with it every single day,
That's interesting.
at the very least, I was practicing being on it.
Because
and
you
I might
view
get-
it as a necessity for yourself and your career and kind of what you need to do, or
Yeah, that's why I wanted to get more comfortable with it.
okay, yeah, exactly.
Totally.
Well, when people are like, I hear people make fun of Instagram all the time, and I'm like, I completely agree with you. And they're like, well, you have one. I'm like, yeah, I'm a musician. I mean, I don't get paid a whole lot for what I do, so at very least, like, apparently, this is what I'm supposed to do to
Totally.
inch myself towards that goal. You
Totally.
know?
Totally.
Did it help you?
It really, really did.
Really?
Yeah. And it's just it's like anything else. I mean, I think that everything is a habit,
Okay.
and like you practice the habit and you get better, or
course.
you practice not doing the habit
Yeah.
and then you get better at not doing that thing. And I think a lot of the insecurities that I was feeling about Instagram was just my mind's way of like giving me more reasons to let me off the hook for not getting my work done.
Yeah, that's a beautiful summation, I guess. I mean, that's
Cool.
so many things in my life. That's exactly how man, what a better lesson to take away, though, than like, oh, it was somebody else's fault or it was something
Yeah.
else. It's like, dude, for as painful as it might be, to recognize that, like,
We have a third guest.
where to
Damn.
bam,
Left-handed, my friend.
left-handed.
With the left hand.
Yeah, secret is I throw with my left hand. I write
Do
with
you
my
really?
right. Yeah, I'm like, I do different things with different. I don't know why.
What about hockey?
Hockey? I am
Right-handed.
yeah,
Skateboarding.
left-footed and Mongo.
Oh no.
And you know what? I was
Can't take you anywhere.
I was competitively good too. Do you know how often I would beat people in competitions
Nice.
as a Mongo skate?
Nice.
It was the dumbest thing ever, though, because if you think about it with the economy on a skateboard, like,
Uh-huh.
dude, stop pushing that. Stop doing that. Like,
Yeah.
it makes no sense. And snowboarding,
Yeah.
I'm the same exact way. I take my front foot out of the, little binding. Like,
That's so funny.
what was I saying before that? Was
We
it
were
anything with
talking
it?
about that's a great summation. You should own your own
When people
self.
own their own stuff. Well, I
Totally.
mean, it's
100%.
like so many people, and like it's a harsh way to live, and that's why I get why people don't want to deal with it. I totally do. It's just that if you don't, like, you don't have another alternative. If you
Yes.
blame other things, your life just kind of descends into chaos.
Yes.
Because I did that for plenty of years, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
So was this 365-day thing, was that a way for you to kind of battle your own demons, or were you giving yourself new challenges? Like, were you dealing with demons, or were you deliberately building mountains for yourself to climb? Like, what were you seeking to achieve? You also got some great songs out of it, per your performance at the bootleg for the release show. And so I think that's great, and that's a nice way to you can almost subsidize the effort, because hopefully you build up some traction or whatever throughout the year, and then
Totally.
sell it or whatever, and that's a great idea, I think.
Totally.
But were you focusing on proving something to yourself, to other people? Was it purely just fun? Was it manic insanity? I mean, what was it?
I hear you.
Yeah.
Maybe a little mania. Or a lot
Not that
of
I've ever
mania.
experienced any. Not that I would know anything about that. I wouldn't.
Not at all. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Neither do I. I actually
See,
made
I'm
that
a-
word up. Is it a word?
I'm a well-adjusted, normal human being
Me too.
without extreme feelings of any kind.
No. None of that. None of that. Get it out of here.
Are you familiar with the 10,000 hour rule?
Yeah, 10,000 hours to master something.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's basically the songwriting version of that.
Interesting.
So there's this book by this guy, Daniel Coyle, called The Little Book of Talent. Well, there's a couple books that he's written, but basically,
Did he do the 10,000 hour rule or?
I don't think that he created that.
Okay.
But I don't remember if I think he's a neurologist. I could be wrong about that.
Okay.
But he put out this book called The Talent Code, which
Okay.
is a big, thick book that clearly explains what's literally going on in the brain when someone is developing a new talent and practicing.
Huh.
And he like spent all of this time at different talent hotbeds like all over the world, like
Yeah.
a tennis camp that produced like the majority of the great tennis players, or like a musical conservatory like that produced like the best violin players
Yeah.
or whatever. So there's this thick book called The Talent Code that like a lot of my friends in college read.
Okay.
And then there's this little companion book that
Where'd
he
you go to
released.
college?
I went to Cal State Northridge,
Okay.
or CSUN for
Okay.
most of us around here call it.
It always confuses
And,
the hell out of me. I still think they're two different colleges.
Exactly, right. Crazy. And I was studying jazz guitar in the music department, so
Okay.
we were all obsessed with trying to get better,
Okay.
basically.
Yeah, of course.
And there's this companion book called The Little Book of Talent, which is literally just tiny single-page chapters on like tips that he's found writing this huge book of like, this is how you should learn stuff. So one of the things,
Great business gimmick, especially if it works.
it's incredible.
That is
incredible.
That's a genius idea.
Incredible. So in this book, he talks about how there are hard skills and soft skills.
Okay.
So like a hard skill would be like writing the letter R on a piece of paper. Like it's a very specific thing that you can practice and replicate and like view.
Like a rote skill almost.
Exactly,
Okay,
exactly. And then a soft skill would be like conflict resolution, where
Okay.
you're like helping two people resolve their conflict. Like it's not
I
something
see.
that you can replicate. And
Well, there's way more subtlety and nuance in that kind of behavior.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So throughout the book, he talks about the differences between hard skills and soft skills. And basically, a soft skill is just like a set of lots of different hard skills combined.
Okay.
But I thought to myself,
Actually, that kind of makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Like one of the things in the book that he talks about is that you need to practice hard skills every day, and then with the soft skills, like those will come when they come.
Yeah.
Part of my thinking behind the 365 project is, what if songwriting is a hard skill? Because songwriters, at least the ones that I have like hung around, tend to think about songwriting in this very like holy and spiritual kind of way, where
here's
it's
here's a place where we might be able to relate a lot.
yeah.
Keep going. But
So
yeah,
it's like, well, I only write this song when I'm inspired,
Right.
or I
Yes.
was writing through this song and I hit this roadblock, and then I took
just let it fall.
I
over.
just let it fall over. It's totally fine. You won't need that for anything. I hit this roadblock in my song, and then 4 months later, like this thing happened in my life, and it unlocked me to write this bridge,
Yep.
or like,
Yep.
people talk, or like people will only write songs when they're feeling it, or when they're feeling able to, or whatever else. And so my thought was, what if songwriting is just like practicing scales? Like what if
100%.
I like literally just sat down and practiced it every day? Like, would I get better at that thing?
Yeah.
And that was the question.
Yep. No, I mean, the reason I said here's an area where we might be able to relate is, dude, by the way, whenever that's done, obviously we should
first?
enjoy this. Oh, maybe we have to save that for after the break, because you should enjoy it in a new glass.
Okay.
That is a brutal fucking drink, man.
That's what you were saying.
Yeah, it's
That's what you were
good,
saying.
but crack into it, man. That's the idea of it.
Fuck
That
yeah.
labels all, you got to peel off the wax. It's part of the experience.
I'm
But,
loving this right now.
But okay, so when I decided I was in college for psychology, neuroscience, philosophy kind of stuff. So basically cognitive neuroscience, or cognitive psychology. So it's it's heady stuff, whatever. You got to do grad school to go anywhere in that.
Yeah,
it's
totally.
purely intellectual discipline, research based,
Yeah.
And I thought it was great, whatever. I was doing well, but yeah, I just, wanted to do music, whatever.
Totally.
So I moved to Colorado with nothing.
From where?
Detroit originally.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah.
You grew up in Detroit.
Well, suburban Detroit. Don't think I grew up in squalor, complete squalor.
Okay.
But definitely, went there, and the only thing that I can think to do, and maybe it's because of that I had like the schooling or whatever, was drill this shit. So not only did I drill writing songs, I didn't do anything like you did where I said I have to write a song a day for a year or whatever.
Sure,
but every single moment, and I, here I'm pretty social in Los Angeles.
Totally.
And part of that is because I've had to sort of adjust to it or adapt to it, because if you're not social in Los Angeles, who the hell are you? You loser. You don't.
Sure.
How are you going to get anything that you want?
Totally.
You can't. You have to
Totally.
know at least 3 people,
Totally.
And so, well, Boulder's not like that. Colorado's not like that, You can do whatever you want. You can, fuck off up to the woods. So I taught myself how to mix and stuff. And,
Cool.
And it took a long time because I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I also wrote constantly and just wrote and then mixed those songs. So I was working on a couple different, and like I've always, I also wrote short stories for a while, like at the end of college and stuff like that. And, if you can write, why not write in different mediums,
Totally.
And so I did that, and I knew from that people would always say, write what you know. And
Totally.
then other people, the rebels, would be like, no, write what you don't know, explore something new. And it's like, okay, well, and then people would say, okay, write when you're inspired. And then other people would say, no, Hunter S. Thompson, Hemingway, they would, Bukowski even, all the manly assholes.
Love Bukowski.
Yeah, Bukowski's my all-time favorite.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and whenever people are just like, dude, I had this, one of my buddy's girlfriends one time was like, of course you'd like Bukowski. I'm like, why? I didn't know, though, at the time. I was like, why? And she's like, because you're a straight man. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that has nothing to do with... Anyway,
Yeah.
okay, so, but I am a big fan of force yourself to hone your art.
Totally.
Because it's your art. And that's, you're one of the first songwriters in specific, because I consider that my craft as well. I've been
Totally.
a guitarist and a singer or whatever. That's all secondary to songwriting. Like, you're one of the first songwriters I've met who's like, no, I felt the need to do that. So on the other side, after this long-winded rant of mine, do you, going forward, I mean, did that teach you that, yeah, this is totally how I should approach it, more mechanically, more from the perspective of those hard skills? Or are you going to try to revert back to like, when I'm inspired, when I feel the mood or whatever,
I hear you. I don't think that I'll ever again go back to writing every day for like a year straight.
I mean, that's
I
insane.
think I will experience periods where like, oh man, like it'd be really nice to like put out an EP or something. I think I'll sit down and I'll write 30 songs before
could do
I
that,
feel
though.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that in that way it's changed. There's this quote, I don't remember who the writer is, but I know that I read it out of this book called The War of Art. And there's a famous writer who's taking questions. And one of the questions
The
is...
War of Art.
Yeah.
Such a tongue-in-cheek title.
It's a very silly...
Sup, Tolstoy?
silly, stupid name.
It's
but
hilarious,
the book is like, it's the most important book I've ever read.
Yeah, okay.
It's really, really cool.
Okay.
But so there's this famous writer and he's answering questions and someone asks him, do you write every day or do you only write when you're inspired? And he answers, oh, I make very sure to only write when I'm inspired. Luckily for me, inspiration strikes every morning at 9 a.m. And I really dig that. It's like
I love that.
My
I love that.
my perception of spiritual, and I consider myself a very spiritual person.
I was gonna
my,
ask you. You did "Child of God" was like the last song.
well,
the
not
bootleg.
in like, I mean, we can get to that.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
the God thing is very far from what I'm
Okay.
talking about right now. But like my perception of spirituality is that it's an experience that my brain is producing. You know?
It is.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't argue that.
You can.
Some people
if you're crazy.
but at the end of the day, it's all mechanical.
Yeah.
So even if I'm experiencing like something spiritual within my songwriting, which I do very often, but like to answer your question, am I viewing it more mechanical or more kind of inspirational? Definitely mechanical. And what I've found is the more that I lean into that mechanics, the more and more that I experience the spiritual aspect as well.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, man, I don't understand why there has to be a division between those things in the first place, I guess. And I do, in the sense that my younger self would have balked at what I'm saying now. When I started writing music, you know, I wouldn't have been able to relate to what I'm saying now if I was taking a hardline stance, especially, and just saying, no, there's nothing wrong with the mechanical world. It's like, not mechanical world, but the mechanical approach to writing music. Like, look, I do get the need for the spiritual aspect, and I get the need for inspiration. And let's call it, hell, if you want to call it revelation, I have no problem with that, because I think that's probably what it is, you know? Again, these words can mean a few different things depending on what you mean, and that's why when I brought up the God thing, it's like, oh, we can get to that, you know? It's like, yeah, you know, I'm getting ahead of myself here, but you know, it is. You ever have it where, like, okay, so how much time did you spend each day on a song? Did you give yourself a window, a time frame, or did you say, just today I got the day off, so, you know, I'll take 12 hours to write a song if I want? Or did you say it's got to be done in 2 hours or whatever, you know?
Totally.
Yeah.
The parameters that I gave for myself were, and I figured this out about 20 days into the challenge, was that every song needed to be at least one verse and one chorus.
Okay.
And I did that because I feel like that transition that you make between the verse and the chorus is the most important, like, thing to practice.
It's the turn
as a songwriter.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of where the DNA of the song is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then the other parameter that I had for myself is that it needed to be an honest try. So I needed to be able to look at myself in the mirror like the next morning and like know that I
you didn't
really
just crap out a song for no reason, whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you didn't just throw it away.
Yeah. So given those parameters, it usually took around an hour.
Yeah.
Sometimes if I was feeling really good, I could do it in as little as 20 minutes, and then it would take me like about 5 or 10 minutes to record it and post it, and that's like a very, very good day.
That would be, that'd be a very good day.
Yeah. And there were a couple times where that happened.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you is, do you ever get driven nuts as a songwriter that sometimes, and I've had it happen both ways, especially working with my band. And I want to ask you what the division between you and your band is in a sec, but
sure.
My band, you know, we're three competent and capable musicians, so we can handle cool stuff. And as a musician, not necessarily as a songwriter, but even as a songwriter who wants to like challenge myself, I want to go for like proggy, weird, just like, all right, let's see what happens here. You know, I'll have to show you this song later that I think you might dig. It's
Nice.
It's more on the musical nerd side of things rather than the absurd plays rock and roll again.
Sure.
You know, and it's like, okay, so there's that, and that shit will take weeks, if not months, sometimes to develop, you know? And you'll develop multiple songs alongside each other, whatever. Sometimes it's the way it gets written. Other times, 15 minutes go by, and I'm like, I think I just wrote one of the best songs I've ever written.
Hell yeah.
Like, just that's what I'm
Fuck
talking
yeah.
about with that revelation. Just like you were in
Totally.
the right place at the right time. A guitar
Totally.
was near you.
Totally.
You know, do you have any enhanced understanding of that phenomenon, having forced yourself to do it every day? Because again, I kind of hearken to that quote. Yeah, good thing for me. Inspiration strikes every day at 9 in the morning. That is such a funny quote. Like, because it's so well addresses. Like, yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
Fuck that question. That question makes no sense. You know, like
It
wonderful.
It also kind of leaves room to wonder if whether or not developing that sensation is
100
something that you can
yes.
practice.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
And because at the end of the day, that's a connection between brain cells. And
Freaky.
what we know
Freaky.
about talent is that you just widen the connection between those brain cells.
You ever
by
seen
repetition.
who's the author that you were talking about earlier?
This guy Daniel Coyle?
Daniel Coyle. Okay, I don't know. His name actually rings a bell, but I'm not sure why. There's this book that this dude published maybe 6 or 7 years ago, and it's about looking into sort of the relationship between the hemispheres and how everything works, you know, and I think I can't remember if the book or the chapter was about how music sort of relates to it, but anyway, they found they would put like they would give jazz musicians and rappers, you know, hook them up with a bunch of electrodes and science fiction shit, and then have them just improv. So they just freestyle to something that, you know, they were familiar enough with that, you know, they weren't just fucking up left and right.
Totally.
And what they found was that it was one of the only activities in, you know, recorded that humans do that lit up everything.
Totally.
Everything.
Yeah.
It's like schizophrenia except for it's controlled. Right? And like, because schizophrenia is lighting up everything too, but it doesn't make any sense, you know?
Yeah.
And improving it's just like, it's controlled, it's literally controlled chaos.
Totally.
You know? Which is one of the coolest things I've ever, just to know that like, and that's why I love that it's like, look, this thing that you think is the greatest experience you've ever had, it's chemicals in your noggin.
Totally.
It's chemicals bouncing around in your brain, which
100%.
I'm not a strict materialist, right? You know, despite being, having studied science and all that crap, I'm not a strict materialist. You know, I'm not going to close the door to the, boy, that's seems to suck the fun out of life a little bit to just be like, well, it's just chemicals. You know, it's like, yeah. Dang. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, that's what it is, and maybe you can train yourself to get there. You know, I love that. Have you ever found?
And I've found that to be the case.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I'm trying to remember the exact number. 45. So my record is 11 songs.
Okay.
45% of my record was written after day 300.
Huh.
So half of my record, which are my favorite 11 songs, half of my record were written in less than a quarter.
Less than the last third, yeah.
And the final quarter.
Huh.
So
That's interesting.
yeah.
Because you think that you sort of trained yourself to get to that revelatory state of mind, or that.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Maybe let's stay away from revelation for a sec. Let's say,
Hey, man.
well, whatever
I'm
it is.
open to whatever.
Of course, right? But what it's meditative. It's
For me, it's making the right decision. And whether or not that gives me a spiritual or emotional like reflex when that happens,
Yeah.
but that's what it comes down for me is like I want to practice being able to make the correct decision.
How do you mean correct though? Because that will baffle a lot of people as it comes to songwriting.
It's something that like creatives and artists should be able to understand, that like when you're working on something, you know when it's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that's all that I mean. I don't mean like an objective, like everyone would agree it's correct.
Of course.
But like a personal, like for yourself that that's what that needs to be.
But you know, here's one thing that drives me nuts, especially, and here's where we can get into. I'm interested because I don't know much about it, like how you work with First Fire and how that all works. You know, for me, I have a steady band. I'm essentially the person who brought it together, but you know, me and Josh work in co-management positions, whatever, and then Colin is there as a committed musician and committed in all other ways, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So we have a unit that, you know, whatever, and I can drive them nuts. And as the main songwriter, sometimes they'll, you know, while I'm trying to introduce them to the idea and get them to, you know, kind of understand where I'm coming from, they'll be like, well, why this, why that? I'm like, shut up for right now. For right now, until I get all this out, you shut up. Like, and they'll be like, well, why? I'm like, I can't explain it right. Look, I think Josh Homme said something like, well, I play music because it's the things I can't express with words. And how interesting is that? And music does it follows a logic, it follows a math.
Totally.
You know, it is a language.
Totally.
But it's not a language it's a language that you would need to translate in and out of English or any other language. You know, it's not, and you couldn't do it, you know, because it's not, it's a really weird thing. So what do you think? Like when you say, you know, the right decision is the one that serves the vision, you know, isn't it frustrating sometimes that you can't communicate that vision to someone else because the music is what's going to communicate the vision, you know? So you can't just explain to someone what the vision is because words aren't going to do it. That's why I wrote the damn music, you know? But like, but how am I going to get this out, you know? Like,
yeah.
That is maddening.
Yeah, I hear you. I totally hear you.
That drives me insane. Like, I mean, for you, is that with First Fire? Okay, so is First Fire, what is that? Is that you? Is that an extension of you? Is that a band? What is it?
When I graduated from my jazz guitar college situation, I like going to school.
Is that what it said on the diploma?
Yeah.
Jazz guitar 100%. College situation.
And there was, and it was smeared, and there was a pizza stain. Very, very wonderful individuals at the administration department at Cal State Northridge.
They don't get paid.
But so when I graduated, I moved to Highland Park. And
you're from where originally?
I'm from Simi Valley.
Simi Valley.
Born, bred, raised.
I got my amp out there.
Nice.
Yeah, some guy in Craigslist.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
Yeah, Simi Valley is it's a nice place.
Lots of heroin otherwise, but
lots of heroin.
So much heroin.
Yeah.
An amazing amount of heroin. Like,
yeah,
I'm not from here.
Impressive.
And I know that.
That's so funny. It was also about to be the pornography capital of the world, too.
Oh, good.
Because currently the pornography capital of the world is Chatsworth, which is the city right next to Simi Valley.
I know Chatsworth.
Yeah. Well, you know, if any of our viewers don't know.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. 3 people, I apologize.
Sorry.
So sorry.
No, dude, the hundreds of my listeners are going to...
Oh, yeah. That's true. Sorry. I didn't mean to demean you, hundreds of listeners.
Jokes, bro. And Chatsworth is the last municipal neighborhood of Los Angeles County.
Okay.
And then Simi Valley is the next city. So they were about to pass a law that if you're shooting porn in LA, you had to use a condom. And if that
yes, I remember that.
If that law went through, then all the porn shit was going to move 10 minutes over to Simi. Which would have been hilarious.
That would have been awesome.
It would have made Simi a lot cooler.
Poor quiet citizens of Simi Valley. You don't know what's coming. Literally. Oh my God, dude. The concept of, I remember when they were doing that, like, talking about the porn with the condoms, I'm like, it's porn. It's fucking porn. What are you talking about, condoms?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I can't even fantasize without the government putting a plastic sock on everything.
I'm just trying to like imagine myself masturbating to watching like a woman give a guy a blowjob with a condom on. And she's like kind of laughing, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." She like gets back in character.
How does that? You ever felt one of those condoms, man? And the oil gets on you, you smell it. Can you imagine licking that?
The worst. The worst.
Is that even safe?
I don't think so.
Well, that's why we need more laws to keep our porn stars safe. Only in California, my friend.
So it's a wild world.
It is a wild state that we live in now.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
it's true.
Here, so I tell you what, we can take a small break really quick.
Hey, you're the host. I'm feeling really, really good. So.
Well, I got this watch for Christmas.
Nice.
I was never a watch guy.
Okay.
And I wore this bracelet for a while, and then it like broke. It's this artist that actually had our satellite residency.
Nice.
She gave me one. It was an awesome bracelet.
Hell
it's just the band ended up, wearing. I wear it every day in the shower and all that. And,
cool.
The band wore, it broke off, whatever. Without telling me, she got me this for Christmas, which
sweet.
Hell yeah. Now I'm a watch guy, but also now I'm just like, all right, this is exactly what time it is.
Perfect.
No, that's super annoying. It's like I'm already an anxious anal person in the first place, so I'm just like, now I know exactly what second it is all the time now.
Yeah.
I didn't used to, but now I can just pay attention to that. Yeah. It's another thing for me to pay attention to.
Nice. Nice.
All right, so let's take a small break because I got to pee anyway.
Cool.
And then coming back, we're going to taste some of this, what do they call it? White Dog.
I'm super down.
White Dog mash, number 125 proof, disgusting, pre-aging whiskey.
Hell yeah.
Okay, cool.
So down.
Let's fucking do it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Some cowboy chords, a Christian phrase. Careful never to introduce myself by my real name. My brand new shoes, but my Bible's worn. Let's pretend we know what Jesus meant by the rich and poor. With hands raised to nothing, I've never felt so pure, and I've never looked so obscure. I took a plane across the world to teach the Africans it's heaven sent to play the cowboy chords. We laughed and sang, and they fed me well, and they parodied my western greed like a show and tell. Acting like neighbors, I've never felt so pure, and I've never looked so obscure. It's Halloween, and we're in love. My mother won't be home till the evening after church is done. We fumble to remove our clothes, and our hearts will sink at the sound of the unlocking door. Pretending I'm sorry, I've never felt so pure. And I've never looked so obscure. When Jesus was in me, I never felt so sure. But I'm not looking for answers
Oh yeah.
anymore.
Unfortunately.
Yes. Great venue. World's best. And she came over the hill when you're waiting like in line at like the box office or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We got there early because we were dumb and young, and they're
Nice.
like, sound check is at this time, and we're like, well, we got to go for sound check. And no, you don't. It's the Viper Room. They're not going to give a shit about your sound anyway, to be honest.
Totally.
Like, I have some fond memories at the Viper Room, but
Sure.
she comes like walking over the hill, and I did kind of like that, you know, double take,
Totally.
triple take. And I was like, I'm gonna play it cool. Don't worry about
Nice.
it. Yeah. And so we go in, whatever. We're the only people there, and she's there.
Cool.
And Josh, my beloved bassist,
Mm-hmm.
no good with society and people, goes directly up to her immediately.
Nice.
No time for subtlety or a pause or anything. This girl by herself, band over here. He goes up and it's just like talking her ear off, and you can see in her face it's just like not working.
Totally.
And my plan the whole time was just like, yeah, it's cool. Don't worry about it. Like, she'll be here for a minute. Let's go talk to her. She must be here for somebody though. Like,
Sure.
because she's here this early. Like,
Totally.
and she was there for the first band, it turned out.
Yeah.
So I like go up, say hi, whatever. And then later, you know, after having taken my shirt off on stage, you know, and really just being a horrible human,
Wonderful.
hamming it up. Yeah.
Love it.
I went over to her and I was like, can I buy you a drink? And I was hammered.
Great.
So, you know, gave her a drink. She turns around. What is clinking? She turns around and she turns back around. I dropped my drink.
Nice.
Great. So I get another drink from the bartender who was very friendly to me. We had a good crowd. We fucking, you know,
Oh yeah.
actually killed it, you know, whatever. Okay, so everybody's being friendly to me. Great. I get another one from the bartender, turn around and drop it again.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, the first one I could blame on like someone bumping into me. The second one, not so much. So somehow we still end up talking. She gets in an Uber, you know, whatever. I give her a kiss. I'm like, nice, we got it. And then she's like driving away. She's like leaning her head out the Uber, going, bye, Ben. Nice to meet you. It's terrible. Yeah, terrible.
Wait, why is that terrible?
Well, it was great. I mean, it's not classy. Either of us. I dropped a few drinks.
Classy.
Fuck classy indeed.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess we're back, huh?
Yeah, I'm super down.
I think we were back from like 2 minutes ago.
All right.
I'm gonna just start it then.
Totally.
We are back, and we're gonna try some white dog mash number one.
I'm looking forward to it.
I do have to ask. Okay, so
Please.
I was thinking about this earlier. I was thinking about two things. One was what I had asked about earlier, which was
The first fire stuff?
the first fire stuff. I guess that was like not much of a thought though. It was like, all right, I just need to ask about that because
Totally.
I don't know any answers.
Totally.
The second was like I was speculating on the 365-day thing.
Sure.
And then the third, I was wondering, dude, especially because this is such a natural and easy conversation because you're fucking super interesting and awesome and a genuine talent, really. And
Hell yeah,
from my mouth, oh my God, how must that feel? I'm 30, did I tell you?
I've never had a 30-year-old sing my praises so sweetly.
Well, welcome to the fucking big leagues, Captain.
This is what I've been waiting for.
All right, so then another time, draw it back to a serious note for a sec. We got an American flag here. We did a residency. You asked me to take an American flag down.
It's true.
Why?
It was it was a controversial experience that happened.
It wasn't It was the worst fight I've ever had. I've never had another fight worse than that.
For that show, I
understood why you did it.
Sure.
But
No, I'll explain myself for the podcast.
You don't want me to just keep talking over you?
You can if you want. I just didn't know if your question was
No, it was actually
was rhetorical.
It was something that
or-
I've wanted to ask you for a while, and I just felt like the venue wasn't like, because we had each other's numbers for a while,
Totally.
and I didn't actually judge it all that negatively, even though at the time I'm like, it's my set. Are you
I hear you.
stupid? No,
hear
just
ya.
stupid. No, it was nothing actually monumental or anything like that. But I did think about it, and I thought, okay, if I get the chance to hang with him,
Totally.
I want to ask.
100%.
So it's pure curiosity. Yeah.
No, yeah. I had for that show, I had hired a photographer.
Yes.
And for me, the American flag was not within the brand of First Fire. It
Yeah.
just wasn't something that I would have chosen to have in promotional materials at all.
But is that because is the American flag somehow against the brand of First Flyer?
No, but I think that it is a strong statement to include the American flag with a band.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, but okay. So here's the interesting thing: is like the reason that we just smell it.
And also to be clear, wow,
Yeah,
it smells kind of like vegetables.
it's gonna be a very interesting taste. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Also, just to be clear, I am not against the absurd, or I'm not against
You're here.
Obviously, thank you for acknowledging that.
Come on.
But I'm not against anyone using the American flag
Yeah.
in their brand. It was just very specifically if I had the option, I wouldn't include an American flag
Yeah.
in my pictures.
Well, we had 8 of them.
yeah, exactly.
Well, I also think I the reason I qualified it so much and said I'm asking based on curiosity is that I don't know if that's satire or exactly what it is, but we know what we're doing.
Totally.
We're not crazy. I mean, look, yes, there are American flags all over this apartment.
Sure, yeah.
Studio. Did I say apartment? I meant studio.
Warehouse.
Yes,
Downtown Los Angeles.
downtown loft.
Our complex. Welcome to our campus.
Not an apartment. So we knew what we were doing. Okay. We also named the album Build the Wall. We know what we're doing. Okay.
Totally.
And it was a half-baked effort, I think. And we're just moving away from it on the new one. We're still part of the reason I liked it is because I remember seeing the Who with the big fucking British flags on their amps and their shirts
Totally.
and seeing the Beatles do that too and then Zeppelin and I mean and a bunch of other people doing the American flags the Rolling Stones did. I mean all these just the big ass American flag just wait, rock and roll is anti-establishment, but American flag, like that somehow
Totally.
is so like freedom. God damn it! Like it's just
Sure.
it's like the most redneck I've ever felt is watching classic rock bands with the American flags, where I'm like,
Totally.
makes you want to cry.
Totally.
You know, no, but it's stupid as hell, you know? And so we did it. And I do wonder how you felt walking in that night, because I think that night, who else was on that night? Do you have any idea? Because was it
I
Sankarin?
remember there was, she was
Okay.
on for sure.
Okay, so that's the
And
night.
then there was one band that
Sorry Party?
the front man had Sorry Party was there too.
Okay.
I think it was actually, now I could be remembering a different night.
Okay.
I felt like one of the bands had a very strong accent of some sort. I could be confused. But if it was definitely
I mean, you wouldn't,
Sankarin and then Sorry Party, that's already 4 groups.
if that's 4, that's all of them.
Then that would have been it.
So, I
it was
mean-
definitely those 2.
Okay. So I remember that's the first night that we did the all the American red, white, and blue balloons too.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
I remember I had a few people, because that was the night when I got the "Don't Tread on Me" flag and put it over the when you go to the box office at the Satellite, then you go in and there's another door before you go to the venue, and we had the "Don't Tread on Me." And
Hell yeah.
Jasmine Sankaran had got there, and she was one of the first people to show up. Whatever. Ned in the Dirt, Sorry Party was already there,
Yeah.
and reacting to the decorations.
Yeah.
So, you know, they were just kind of like, we know these guys. You
Sure,
know?
yeah.
Fuck them.
Totally.
Jasmine got there, and we were like, hey, genuinely just like, hey, what's going on? Because
Yeah.
we're not thinking about that. And she's like, what is up with the "Don't Tread on Me" flag? And we were like, what? What about it? She's like, no. She said something about like racism and slavery. And we were like, I think that was Benjamin Franklin's thing. Oh, and then the Tea Party used it. The Tea Party had used it. Like, which, like, I was thinking, like, I've only ever seen that flag in the context of the no taxation without representation,
Totally.
fuck you, British kind of thing.
Totally.
I didn't even know that the Tea Party had really used that. I wasn't thinking about it, you know. And a bunch of people were just like, actually, one of my buddies summed it up really nicely, because we put so much America stuff in there. One of my buddies, Josh Martinez, who produced our actually last album and the current one,
Hell yeah.
came in, and he told me later, he's like, dude, you know, I'm like down with you guys, but like even when I walked in, I was like, okay, this is a lot, you know.
Totally.
Did you feel that way walking in, or no? I don't remember.
I wasn't surprised.
Yeah, right.
When I walked in, I was like, okay, well, this is aligned with the brand of the absurd.
Right.
It felt like a lot, but it didn't feel like too much. It didn't feel
Yeah.
too loud.
Okay.
Like it just felt like a strong statement. That
That's what
was
we
like,
were
okay,
striking, yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
My only thing is that I had hired a photographer.
Right.
If I wasn't taking pictures that I intended to use as promotional material, then like I fucking wouldn't have asked at all about the flags.
Yeah, well,
Like,
and you're in
whatever.
tune with how things are, you know. So
totally.
just having that there is gonna, you know, I mean, why waste an opportunity if you hired a photographer? I guess, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool, man. Yeah. I mean, fooling around with that shtick was kind of interesting.
Totally.
And like, you know, we'll still do it. Like the first song on the new album is going to be "God Bless the USA."
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you. Ooh, more alcohol.
Don't worry
Thank
about it.
you.
I got you.
Ooh, what a host. What a
Don't
host.
even worry about it, my friend.
What a host.
Before he got here, I asked him bourbon, scotch, or rye. Turns out I have rye, bourbon, whatever the hell this white dog shit is, and scotch. God damn it. All right.
Nice. I
All
love
right.
it.
So this is okay, so let's do a product placement really quick.
Nice.
Buffalo Trace White Dog Mash #1. It is
Highly recommended. If you want to write 365 songs in a year, then you need to drink.
you're gonna need the strong stuff. Yeah. Eric Davis said it, ladies and gentlemen, not me.
My name's Eric Davis, and I'm here to tell you.
Yeah.
Can I give my honest opinion?
I would hope that you would.
It tastes like a mixture of vegetables and licorice.
There you go. See, earlier when I was saying this tastes like shit, but we should try it anyway. It's corn though, mostly, right?
It's of the vegetable flavor. It's mostly corn.
It's the sweet corn. You know, it's like
I mean, if I was sober,
it tastes like heartburn.
Yeah.
If you were sober,
If I was sober and I was locked alone in a room with this stuff, I would drink it.
yeah, totally.
It's
Totally,
like
come on.
it's drinkable. It's alcohol. But
it's almost nothing if not alcohol.
you know what? I'll tell you what. I would rather sip on this than Fireball.
Fireball is one of the worst things ever created. I don't know who made Fireball, but I want to kill that guy. I'm sure he's dead already. Or she. You know what? Whatever. Whoever it is.
100%.
But that person
100%.
should be dead again. They should be brought back to life so we can kill them again. Fireball is an abomination. Come on. That's not... Ugh. It's so gross.
Fireball was my first shot of like the first shot that I ever took was Fireball.
Oh, no.
Isn't that strange?
No, it's not. I mean, everybody's first something is gross.
Shitty and
bad.
stupid.
First sex is never good.
It was out of
It
a
was
red
magical.
Solo cup.
Oh, I think the first time I got drunk was crappy vodka out of a water bottle.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You went straight to vodka?
No, yeah, right
That's
to it.
wild.
Yeah, which I think vodka might be the most boring liquor.
Yeah, totally. Of the liquors. But to go from not drinking to vodka,
It is so gross.
that's a jump.
And it was summer, and my buddy was watching like this neighbor's place where they like, you know, he was pool sitting or house sitting or something. And like, oh my God. Like, he had this water bottle in his pocket for like, I don't even know how long. It was just warm, horrible. The fact that I drink so much now is amazing because that first experience with alcohol should have turned me off forever.
Yeah,
Like,
that's gross.
it was really gross. But then like my buddy's mom ended up picking us up, right? We had to go. And my buddy's mom was kind of hot and always
Nice.
hit on me.
Nice.
I'm like, I don't know, 14, 15.
Nice.
What's up, miss? You know, I can't say the last name, but like that
Sure.
would probably be incriminating. But you know, like she knows I'm drunk on the way back and is just like kind of flirting with me more.
Nice.
Cool.
I dig.
She's got one of those low cut shirts on,
Love
tank
it.
tops.
Love it.
Hey, oh man, I keep wanting to say her name. I'm like, God damn it. All right. Well, hey, you know, the tank top would look better on the floor. You know what I'm saying?
Did you say that to her?
No, of course I didn't. God
That
damn.
would have been
would've
so
been
sick.
Epic.
Oh my god.
Dude, I wish I had said
that
that.
would have been so sick.
I did have, dude, one of my very good Have you ever had like awkward sexual encounters with older women?
They're never awkward because I totally dig it.
Because hell yeah. Dude, I had this. I absolutely agree with that. But like, has it ever been like sometimes unwanted where it's like, okay, you know, it's like, okay, look, I get the older, younger thing. Like, I'm into that for sure.
Yeah.
But like,
It's nice.
you're not that attractive though. It's like,
Totally.
not even that you conventionally, just my tastes. I'm not into this. Like,
Sure.
I'm not, this isn't right. Okay, so
Been there.
I was at my buddy's wedding.
Nice.
And they get married, do the whole thing, blah, 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 whatever. I show up the day before, whatever, because it's a good long-standing childhood friend of mine. You know, I get there and he's, you know, whatever. I have some weed, and his
Love
mom
it.
is like, what? Oh, and a backstory. We were at a concert, Dave Matthews Band,
Love it.
who I still think is fucking awesome, and
Love
you can
it.
fight me on that.
I won't.
No, they're a good live band.
Nice.
And we're on like a hilltop concert, whatever. There's a big hill. It's the summer. I gave her like a couple joints. She had asked me for it earlier. She ended up
Great.
rolling down the hill, and the paramedics had to lead her out. And we were all cracking up hysterically because she clearly wasn't like in pain. She was just so high. This is my friend's mom.
I love that.
Oh my God, dude.
I love that so much.
Fast forward 9 years,
Nice.
and she's like, "Do you have any weed?"
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
And I'm like,
She's like, remember when the paramedics came?
"Oh my God."
Can we do that again?
Yeah, and I'm like, "Yeah, I have some weed." She's smoking weed with me while her husband is beeping on the horn like, "Let's go." And I'm like, "Oh my dear God." Like,
Love it.
what am I supposed to say? You're the mom of the guy getting married.
Sure.
Am I supposed to tell you no, your husband's waiting for you?
Sure. Totally.
Like, my hands are fucking tied here,
Totally.
lady. You know?
100%.
So at the wedding, dude, she starts like just getting way too close,
Nice.
way too often, you
Love
know, and
it.
I'm like, man, I can see your husband right there, and her husband is
Yeah,
a threatening
that's-
looking man.
That's
They have a lot
That's
of
not
money.
the move.
No, they
Not
have a
the
lot of
move.
money, and he's a big motherfucker.
yeah.
And I'm
Not
like,
the move.
No, not the move. Like if you want to do this, let's make it real subtle, okay? You're not making this subtle at all. We go into
Yeah.
she drags me into a photo booth
Whoa.
with him and all of his friends. And in the photo,
Okay.
you can see her grabbing my junk.
That
Yeah. It exists on
is
social media and stuff.
hilarious.
Yeah. So I get out of the photo booth and the dad is out there and he pulls me aside and he's like, "Hey, buddy." And he's giving
Whoa.
me this like super stern handshake. I'm like,
Damn.
"Hey." Like, but also like, dude, you don't understand. I have not been accepting any of this. I've just been trying not to cause a calamity right now.
Sure, yeah.
And he's squeezing my fucking wrist and he's like,
yeah.
"Are you having a good time?" I'm like,
Damn, dude.
"Yeah, I'm having a good time."
Yeah.
"Your son is one of my best friends. He's great. You know, like, can I?" And he's
Wait,
like,
this is the mother of the groom? Oh, I didn't realize that that's who she was. That made. Oh, dude, you're hanging out with your best friend's mom?
not my best friend, but he is a very good friend.
Okay, I'll. Very good is fine.
Yeah, and I'm not.
Best friend? No.
No, absolutely not. But I'm also fine line between those things.
It's true.
But I'm also not like accepting it. You know what I mean? Like
Sure,
I'm
totally.
just kind of
Totally.
doing what I have to do
Totally.
because the dude's hammered.
Yeah.
Everyone else is hammered. No one is
100%.
going to have any kind of accurate recollection of what's happening here. You know, like, oh, you ever been in a situation like that?
Where my good friend's mom was coming on to me?
And he's getting married?
Never, no,
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, the other one.
Not that specifically.
Right, where like a good friend of yours, their mom is just like curious.
Not in any tangible way. There's been energies. Yeah, dude, I stopped drinking that a while ago. It doesn't get any better.
Sorry, I meant for a smaller pour, but wow.
I tried for
Dude,
like
it feels like brushing your teeth. It's like taking the enamel off.
I tried like a second or third sip, and it only gets
I
worse.
told you.
It only gets worse.
I don't know.
man.
I see. My girlfriend was like, "Yeah, that's nice as a birthday gift because now you can just like show it to people." I'm like,
Sure, yeah.
And what? Welcome to my home. Would you like to vomit?
It's kind of fun.
It is. Yeah, it's like, oh, this is what they drank before they figured alcohol out.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So your friend's mom.
Never any like specific situations where my junk had been literally grabbed or
Okay.
anything like that.
Yeah.
There has been energies where it's like, oh, this feels like some sexual tension.
Yeah.
The one thing that I will share with you.
It's gonna be Joshua.
Oh hell yeah. There's two.
Never mind, it's a
there's
neighbor.
2 entrance doors.
No, there's one entrance door. This confuses
only
people, but that one just goes to the bathroom wing.
Okay.
That's the bedroom bathroom
The
wing.
wing.
The wing. Yes.
Multiple wings here.
And this one goes to. Oh, you can't even see that from here, huh?
It's all good.
Okay, and that one's the one that says exit.
Yeah.
So that's the exit.
That's the one I came in.
That's the one you came in. That's the one you go out.
Right.
This one though, that's another wing.
Yeah.
That's a whole new world.
Yeah.
We don't want to discuss that.
I wasn't planning on it.
I just did it for a while. So I mean, ship sailed.
So yeah, no best friend's mom. The one thing for me, so I teach music lessons for a living.
Okay.
So at least half of my clients, half of my students are children, and all of
Children,
their,
what
all of-
age?
my youngest is 6. My oldest kid is like 16,
Okay.
and then I have like the rest of them are like either my age or older.
I don't know if I could teach 6-year-olds for a living, man.
I only have one 6-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know if I could do that.
He's an exceptional 6-year-old,
Okay.
but usually I don't take 6-year-olds.
Man, that's. His parents are from Beverly Hills or what? They paying you good?
It's really strange, man. So here's the deal, is that I drive out to Ventura 3 days a week
Okay.
to teach these stacked lesson days. I'll go out there and I'll teach like
Financially
10
worth
or
it for you.
12.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
driving that far. Yeah.
It's wild. But
Yeah.
the thing about Ventura is that it, for whatever reason, creates the perfect clientele for music lessons.
Okay.
Because they have enough money that they're comfortable like paying the rate that I charge.
Yeah.
But it's also like a beach town. So they're just like trying to get guitar lessons. Like they're just chill. You know, it's not
Yeah,
like
yeah,
teaching.
man.
So I want to say 3 years ago, I decided that because after I graduated college, I was just like gigging for a living, like
Yeah.
like jazz casual, playing with a band, like whatever I
100%,
could
yeah.
do just to play.
Yeah. Just to
And
not die.
yeah, exactly. And I got a little. I decided that I didn't want to do that anymore. So the change that I made is that I would teach for a living, and then I would play the gigs that I wanted to play. So then I started teaching most like in-home lessons in the Valley and like San Gabriel Valley area.
Yeah.
And then a friend of mine was looking for someone to take over a couple days in Ventura.
Okay.
And I was like, that's weird. But then once he explained like the back end under the everything situation.
Dude, I mean, if it works.
It was like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, dude.
So-
Yeah. I mean, people do crazy shit to make money and make ends meet. But it's like,
Yeah.
dude, if it works, do it.
Yeah, but it's wild because 6 hours ago, I got a call saying that.
Was that when I was 29?
Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah, it was.
You were 29 at this time.
Better days.
Yeah, man. Remember?
You remember? I remember. Think I'm not a South Park fan? Come on. Remember? Ooh, I remember. So stupid. South Park is
No,
one of the best shows
It's
ever.
not stupid.
It's not.
It's brilliant.
It is beyond brilliant, man. It's fucking genius, dude. Those guys are so good.
Driving over here, I was listening to the episode where Stan's dad buys Blockbuster.
No, you're not telling me it's going out of business. It's never going to go out of business.
And they do a spoof as if the Blockbuster is The Shining.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so
man.
good, dude. And he gets that ends with him getting frozen in ice, doesn't it? And
I-
Sharon's like,
I actually haven't
you
seen
haven't
the
got it.
ending yet.
Oh my God.
It's okay though.
I just ruined
I
it.
forgive you.
I just ruined it for you.
I'll appreciate. I don't mind when things get ruined like that.
I don't either.
because what I'm interested in is the way that they
How it gets there?
execute it.
Exactly. Yeah.
We have a lot of similarities.
We do.
Me and
It's
you.
actually spooking me out a little bit.
Kind of spooky.
Okay, so you're from not where I'm from, right? You're from
Simi
California.
Valley,
Simi.
California.
California. When's
But
your birthday?
we're both from suburbs.
Oh, yeah, that might make sense. Yeah.
My birthday is September 27th.
All right. So I don't know what astrological sign that is. I think it's all bullshit
Neither
anyway.
do
But
I.
do you subscribe to that?
I subscribe to zero
Okay.
astrology.
Good.
I
Wait,
do.
you have a brain?
I do like to be hippy dippy about some things.
I know, I get that vibe from you a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of hippy dippiness is
Yeah,
nice.
but not astrology.
The thing that
We're cool.
the big issue that I take with astrology is
Aside
that
from all of the glaring ones.
is that people use it as an excuse to like not fulfill their commitments
Yep.
and not get their work done.
Yep.
So they'll do stuff like, oh, like whatever is in retrograde today.
Mercury is in retrograde.
I
man.
better cancel on this coffee appointment, or I can't write any songs today because of whatever. And I think that is
Book of you.
utter bullshit.
Book of you, a dolphin.
Like there might be something to the cycle of the moon and the cycle of the earth and energies and
Maybe.
whatever, but to use that as an excuse to fuel your victim narrative,
Oh, yeah.
fuck that shit.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. Do you do tobacco, nicotine, by the way?
I don't,
Okay,
unfortunately.
Cool. No, that's not unfortunate at all.
Thank you for offering, though.
Oh, of course, yeah. Well, just shout out to Countersplain. Thank you for the thing that I made you leave with me.
This podcast episode brought to you by Connor's
Sponsored by Puff. Bad for you, but not as bad as cigarettes. But yeah. Oh shit! Now I'm losing my train of thought. Where were we at?
You're totally good. We were talking about me wanting to fuck some of my students' moms.
Oh yeah, that's got to be tough, dude. It's got to be
But
tough.
nothing has ever happened. No lines have ever been crossed.
Well, Jesus, we don't need to discuss it publicly. I mean,
No homes have been broken. But there have
Eric
been
Davis, home wrecker.
But yes, there have been a couple instances where my eyes have seen something that they've liked.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, have there been instances where some of these moms or whatever just kind of, lead you on a little bit, or what?
No.
Really?
There have been a couple times where maybe that door was open, like conversation turns to like flirty, and whenever that happens, I shut it down.
Really?
But it's funny because the guy
You're better than me.
well, it's my livelihood. If it wasn't my livelihood and it was just some mom, I'd be super down.
Dude, I was
But,
a guy at my buddy's wedding, and I still, it's just,
It's okay. It's all good.
I'm only human.
But totally.
I'm only a man.
Stop fueling your victim narrative, huh?
Fucking goddamn it. Sorry. That's what we were talking about. That's right.
But it's funny because the guy that I took the gig over from, he had dated a couple of the moms,
Oh my God.
like single moms.
Oh, man.
Like taking them out on dates. Like there was this one that like only stuck with me for like 2 weeks. And I told him, I was like, yeah, they were around, but then they like canceled abruptly. And
Kinda peace.
And he was like, oh, that doesn't surprise me. We kind of dated. And like, I was like, dude, okay, cool.
Oh my God. No.
But I just that's not a line that I would
That's such
cross.
a messy world that like that's so LA too. It's like the most LA thing in the world. Just like, yeah, well, what are you gonna do? I fucked like 5 of them. I only had 6 students and 5 of their parents. Like it's like Jesus Christ. Like that is, and that's fine with me because do what you want to do, man. Land of the
Totally.
free, whatever.
Totally.
Go for it.
100%.
Hey, But at the same time, like that's what I was saying with like. That's why it was such a compromising position with my buddy's mom. It was like, all right, look, I'm going to indulge you as far as I can.
Sure.
Because, again, ma'am, your son's getting married.
Yeah.
Can you please focus on that?
Yeah.
Please.
Serious.
Because that's what I'm focusing on. And also,
Totally.
like, all of his, I want to make sure he's having a good time. That's it. You're hitting on me really hard.
Yeah.
And as she gets drunker, she's making it like, again, like the picture that was taken in the photo booth among a bunch of other people. She's like, oh my God, I forgot to say, my buddy's going to hate me for this. But like, I forgot to say when we were taking the photo in the photo booth,
Yeah.
she sat on my lap
Whoa.
And right before the photo was taken, she goes, "I can feel his cock."
That's aggressive. That's aggressive.
Aggressive might not even be the right word for it. I think there's a word beyond aggressive. It was just like this. I think this is like what Title IX addresses. This is like,
How old are you at this point?
dude, it wasn't that long ago. I was like 25,
Damn.
26. I might have been older than that. It
Damn.
wasn't that long ago. I was an adult. Like,
That's
and just like, look, yo, I'm not a kid anymore. Like,
a lot.
I don't know what the hell you were thinking when I was, by the way,
Mm.
but like, I'm not anymore. And also, like, dude, because one of my longtime good buddies was like, yo, do you remember when she said that she can feel your cock? And I was like, yeah. Till now, I tried to forget, but thanks for reminding me that actually happened.
Did you have a boner at that
No.
moment in time? She just said it.
No, I was wearing, we were all in suits, you know, because
Yeah.
I was, you know, we were at the wedding and, you know, it was the way I was sitting. I was sitting like this and I
Yeah.
tend to wear like tighter clothes and everything was kind of mashed up. And
Totally.
like, I don't think she could really feel it unless she was looking for it a little bit.
Sure. That's so funny.
Do you ever think like, isn't it funny how like adults are just grown-up versions of the kids that we've been for the last,
Dude,
you know?
it's weird. People hit 22,
Yeah.
and if they don't do anything about it,
Yeah.
they're 22 forever.
Yeah. Oh my God. I absolutely agree with that. I fucking 100% agree with that.
Yeah, man.
And it's annoying when you meet those people.
Dude,
I've
yeah.
met people who are older than me who I'm just like, dude,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you talking about, man?
Yeah, dude.
How did you not get over that?
Yeah.
How did you not fucking get past that?
100%, dude.
Don't you want to keep making progress? Shit. If you're not going to
Yeah.
kill yourself,
Yep.
then fucking keep going.
Yeah.
Seriously, pick a lane. Man,
Yeah.
that's what bothers me about that shit. That's what I love about the 365-day challenge is like it is a decisive and clear decision. Nope, I'm not going to kill myself. In fact, I'm going to keep trying to better myself in whatever
Totally.
stupid, sporadic, irrational way you might have. You
Totally.
know, it doesn't
100%.
need to make a ton of sense.
Yes.
This is a commitment to I'm not going to die.
Totally.
You know, you ever seen Shawshank Redemption?
You know, I don't think I have yet.
Okay,
actually.
classic, whatever. The end of it, one of the best quotes, one of the most famous quotes is you're either busy living or you're busy dying. And that's been formulated by many philosophers over the years, you know, in a bunch of different ways. But basically, look, if you want to live, unfortunately, life is a process, not just a state of being. So, you know, you got to keep,
Totally.
life is work,
Totally.
and it sucks.
Yeah.
The alternative, though, is that you can run your life into the ground and basically die and
Yep.
just kind of spin the wheels until you get there, you know?
Yes.
And it's like at that point, why don't you just do it? You know, like I hate to see it. I'm very sympathetic. In fact, I'm empathetic because I've been there. But like, just fucking do it. It's just whose time are you wasting at this point? You know, like you don't want to be alive. No one else is interested in you being alive because you're fucking wasting time, man. And that goes to the whole, you know, blaming yourself versus blaming other people. I do want to ask, actually, to tie it around to music.
Sure.
I always find, I think the best ones that I've done so far, I'm like, did we talk about music at all? No.
It's fine.
Good. That means it's good.
It's totally fine.
But I do want to ask, while I remember, because I'm sure it'll derail again.
Sure.
While what is this? What is it you're doing? Picking apart
I'm nervously picking at
What are you
the-
picking apart?
the wrapper of this.
If I had the
whiskey thing.
ability to show that up close, it's actually kind of beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, it is.
We could take a picture.
It's
and
got
then-
we could, but not with my phone because my phone is not the camera, obviously, because why would I
Totally.
film with my phone?
100%.
That's stupid.
Yeah,
But it's not here, so you know
Yeah.
that's a problem.
totally.
That is, yeah, it's kind of nice.
Well,
All of the bits are actually.
creating it for you.
Thank you. If you could, yeah, just at least frame it and picture it before you leave.
100%.
Picture it. Yeah, that's the word. But I did want to ask. Okay, so you are from Simi Valley,
I am.
meaning that you grew up with the music scene in LA, or no, you had to move to it? Because it's far enough away that it's not easily accessible necessarily from Simi Valley.
So Simi Valley is about 45 minutes north of here without traffic.
I was going to say. Specify that for people.
Yeah, totally.
Half of my listeners are in Michigan.
Yeah.
They don't know what 45 minutes means. They think that means 45 miles.
No, my friend.
No.
Welcome to Los Angeles. So growing up, I didn't go into Los Angeles very often, except for in high school. I had a friend who would pick me up, and we go to shows in Hollywood a bunch.
Yeah.
So I thought Los Angeles was Hollywood.
Okay.
So I hated Los Angeles,
Right.
Because I hate Hollywood.
Because Hollywood sucks.
Yeah. So then I went to college in Northridge. So I never actually moved out of my parents' house in college, but I never actually slept there a bunch either. I'd like just crash at friends' houses.
Kind of rambled on.
Sleep at school or in my car or whatever.
Yeah.
So I kind of consider that moment of my life. I spent most of my time in Northridge, so I feel like I lived there for a couple of years going to college.
Yeah.
And then after I graduated college, I moved to Highland Park.
And you went to Cal... What's it?
Cal State Northridge.
Cal State Northridge.
Otherwise known as
CSUN.
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 Yeah, around here.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what people...
Right. Okay.
The
As you were
locals
saying.
call it.
Yeah.
So then I moved to Highland Park.
Okay. Highland Park's awesome, by the way.
Incredible.
That's fun.
It's a wonderful...
I love that spot.
Wonderful.
I was just at Sonny's like 3 days ago. You ever been there?
Hell yeah.
Sonny's Hideaway.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good spot. They
Oh,
have
it's a great
good
spot.
fries there.
Yes.
Yeah.
People call it a dive, and every time I go there, I'm like,
Really?
this is like the most sophisticated dive I've ever been at. Yeah.
Maybe they're confusing it with Hermosillo.
No, because I've no. They call Sonny's a dive because it has the fucking patio. You can smoke on it, whatever. And it also is. It has. Continue where you were saying. We can go to that some other time.
Okay. Yeah, I moved to Highland Park, lived there for about 2 years, and then I've been in Pasadena for a year and a half. So I feel like the Highland Park, Pasadena has been like my first LA proper kind of living experience.
Did you start playing out live when you were in Highland Park in Pasadena, or had you already been playing out live? What I'm getting at is, if you're in Simi Valley, I don't know if you're already growing up used to playing out in LA, or when you moved, is that when you started being like, no, I'm a fucking songwriter. I'm doing this, you know? How did that go for you?
In high school, I started playing in church, like when I was in 9th grade, and that was a majority of my like.
You are religious, motherfucker.
I was at one point. I was very.
I was gonna say, now you're talking about brain
religious.
cells. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's wild. Look at me now.
How far we've come.
From Jesus to brain cells. Who knew?
That's the name of my new prog metal band.
I dig that.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, a majority of my music performance, like in high school, was playing like 2 times a week, 3 times a week at church. And I played a couple like singer-songwriter sets while I was in high school. And then I also had a hardcore band called A Forest Aflame. And we played a couple times in Los Angeles. Like they used to do these like pay-to-play Battle of the Bands all day Saturday kind of deals.
Where at?
It was at the Knitting Factory, and then it was also at this.
I don't fucking know that place at all.
The Knitting Factory. It closed down
okay.
when we were like 22.
Okay.
So, yeah, like
6 years
6
ago?
years ago, 8 years ago. Yeah.
Okay. Before I got here. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. So yeah, I played a couple hardcore sets out that I really loved.
What's with you jazzers and liking the hardcore shit? It's
a,
weird.
It's a thing. It's a
Why?
thing.
I would much
I don't
rather
know.
listen to fucking jazz.
I don't
love
know.
jazz. The hardcore shit, I'm just like, yeah, okay. Ugh. You guys are obviously all great musicians.
Couldn't tell you.
This music is appalling to me.
Couldn't tell you.
Are you still into that shit?
I will throw it on every once in a while,
Like who?
and I
Who?
can like the Chariot
Okay.
and Under Oath, and
Man, I used to listen to me some Under Oath.
fuck yeah,
Yeah.
and there's a band called The Famine that I really like. This band Oh Sleeper.
I know Sleep.
Yeah, not Sleep. I hadn't gotten into Sleep until recently.
They're come on, that whole genre is just dumb. It's the dumbest genre to ever hit music, and that's why I love it, by the way. I
Sure,
actually
totally.
do like the stoner, the fact that it put whatever genre is actually after the word stoner.
Yeah.
Like stoner rock, stoner metal. I don't care.
Stoner jazz.
It totally stoner jazz, man. Jazz is stoner jazz. Like I don't think you
Cool.
need the adjective, you know.
Cool.
Like well, that's why I love jazz, but like but like with these genres it's just like you know the word stoner is so applicable if you've ever been high and listened to that music.
Totally.
You put it on and you're just like 4 songs in, you're like, have I been wasting my time for this? Oh my God, yes I have. I've been listening to this for this long. Like, and it is just a total, it's a sound bath. Like, check out how high we can turn our amps up and this distortion, the songs aren't original whatsoever.
Totally.
You know? Anyway, so it was this band, Something Sleep.
Yeah, Oh Sleeper.
Oh, Sleeper.
Yeah, a handful of those kinds of hardcore bands. So I can throw those bands on for maybe 3 or 4 songs,
Right.
and then I'm good for a couple weeks.
So you grew up listening to what? What got you into music? What music made you want to play?
Well, my dad made me want to play guitar.
Your dad's a musician?
Yeah, he's not a professional musician by
Okay.
trade, but he's a really good guitar player.
Okay.
He's played in bands growing up and stuff.
Yeah. You don't have to play in
And,
bands to be a good guitar player, but yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True. So I just wanted to be like my dad.
You just wanted to do what he was doing.
Yeah, at parties and stuff, he'd play Beatles tunes and Chicago tunes.
Oh, it's great.
and
Yeah.
Eagles tunes.
So you got the early
all that
early
stuff.
dose of classic rock.
Totally.
That's nice.
And that was
I
probably
actually
the
didn't
main-
get that. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he'd play those records all the time, and then he'd play this smooth jazz band called Foreplay, and it's a lot of Steely Dan that I really loved, and then like
Steely Dan
contemporary.
is so underrated.
Well, it depends on who you talk to. I don't think that anyone overrates Steely Dan, but if
That's
you,
my point.
If you talk to most music nerds that I've ever talked to,
Yeah.
appropriately love Steely
Absolutely,
Dan.
absolutely. Yeah. Well,
But
that's
the general public,
that's what I'm saying.
doesn't.
They don't even they wouldn't be able to name the hits.
totally,
They know the hits.
Totally.
They just don't know that Steely Dan did them.
exactly.
You know, which is really funny to me. Like,
Yeah.
I actually didn't either until later. And what I was saying, like, I didn't. You know what's weird is I benefited from neither of my parents are musical. My grandpa on one side was musical, and he had a great ear. He was educated. You know, he was a music composition theory teacher, whatever. You know, he taught band for a
Right.
while at the high school level. He did it at the college level too. Catholic, you know, St. Aquinas, I believe. And you know, so he would kind of give me some stuff, whatever. But otherwise, like, I just always liked music. And my dad had this interest that was like, he liked 80s stuff, which I guess my dad is 60, being that I'm 30. Did I tell you I'm 30?
You did.
Fucking goddamn it. Well, I thought it would be a surprise this time. So he's 30 or he's 60,
Nice.
and which would mean he was born in basically 1960, 1959, I think. His shit was 80s stuff. He always loved the sort of edgier, punkier, weirder stuff. But I was never introduced to classic rock because he didn't care about it.
Sure.
You know, so I was introduced to Elvis Costello and I don't know, the Cranberries in the early 90s.
Cool.
And that kind of stuff, just like this. you know, but he loved Frank Zappa. He's
Yeah.
a huge Zappa fan,
Cool.
which is cool with me because like that introduces me to like Zappa is an endless well
Yep.
of like just awesome shit
Yep.
that is just bizarre and oh my God, endlessly entertaining.
Yep.
But I never, you know, I had a buddy in middle school actually introduce me to like, hey man, do you know, like, I started playing in a band too. I started playing drums when I was like 13,
Cool.
and I got good really fast. And like, you know, so I'd go practice with these guys that, you know, they're 13, 14, whatever. They grew up on this classic rock shit. They're like, yo, you know, we don't, you know, Another Brick in the Wall, right? I'm like, I have never heard that song. They're like, and they would make fun of me too. Same with Stairway to Heaven. Make fun of me for not knowing that. Like I didn't know it, you know, but I could learn the drums really fast because music's music, you know. Like, and like that shit, I don't know. Like it is. I wish I was raised just knowing that, and I'm glad I knew it at a young enough age.
Totally.
But like, okay, so your dad was your main musical influence. Did you have other people pushing you to play music? Did you have any other path that you were like, I'm going to go down that path? Like for me, like I was saying, I was like, okay, maybe I'll go study cognitive neuroscience, but no, I'm going to be a musician. You know, yeah.
I got interested in music because my dad played, and I wanted to be like my dad.
Right.
And then one of my older brothers played too, and that was also inspiring.
Yeah.
So that same older brother, he's 12 years older than me. So when I
12 years, Jesus.
Yeah. It's
How many siblings you
Quite a
got?
gap. I have 3 siblings.
Okay.
And there's a big gap between me and all of them. But we all have the same parents.
Okay.
So there's 14 years between me and the oldest, and then there's 8 years between me and my closest.
Okay.
Yeah, but all the same. So psychologically, I'm like an only child.
Okay.
Even though they're full-on brothers and sisters.
Totally.
So the brother of mine, who is 12 years older than me, when I was 13, 8th grade, I think that's 13.
Yeah.
Switchfoot was my favorite band, and they were coming to town.
We were meant to live for so much more,
So much more.
but we lost ourselves.
But we lost ourselves.
Whatever the next line is,
Somewhere there inside, somewhere deep inside.
I never knew the
like that.
words to that one. Somewhere we inside,
Yeah.
there inside. Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Anyway.
So Switchfoot, favorite band.
Okay.
And they're coming to town, and I'm like, Dad, we gotta go. My dad's like, I don't know. So then one day at school, my brother picks me up from school. And this is the first time my brother has ever picked me up from school. He picks me up at lunch. And I assume that like my mom's in the hospital. Like what? Like
Yeah,
why
like,
else
why the hell?
would my brother pick me
Yeah.
up from school?
Yep.
So we're driving, and I don't get up the guts to ask him where we're going until 45 minutes into the drive.
Oh my God.
And then finally, I'm like, "Where are you taking me?" He's like, "We're going to Bakersfield. We're going to go see Switchfoot." So he takes me to the Switchfoot concert.
That's awesome.
And we experience the show, and then we hang out by the tour bus afterwards for like an hour or two and like meet everybody and
Yeah.
get signatures and stuff. And basically during the show, it was my first like proper rock and roll show.
Okay.
During the show,
How old were you?
I was 12 or 13.
Okay.
8th grade.
Yeah,
Whatever,
okay.
whatever 8th grade is.
13, I think.
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, during the Switchfoot show, I had this moment where I was like, "This is what I'm going to do for the
Nice.
rest of my life."
Interesting.
So since 13, I've known that like music is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And there have been other ideas of like maybe I'll be a pastor, or maybe I'll be a teacher, like whatever
Right.
else. But since 13, I've known that like music is the ideal scenario for me.
Did you I mean, did you have any conception of what that would take to do? I guess you know what I mean, like because when you see it when you're young, it's just like, all right, you know, I'll be a musician, and then you be a musician, and it's like, fuck, I never expected to drink this much, you know, like it takes so much, especially nowadays, you know. I mean, how do you balance the business aspect with the artistic aspect? Because you do have to make money, you know?
Totally.
You got to sustain yourself.
Totally.
So how do you balance those things? Because obviously you work another job, most musicians do.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you, yeah, exactly. How do you keep everything in check? Do you have a plan to work for, okay, musicianship being the only thing, whatever?
Currently, the way that I live my life is that I teach music lessons for my livelihood, and then I play the shows that I want to play.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'm not losing money on the shows. Like,
Right.
hopefully the money that I make from the shows that I play will cover like cost of merch or cost of whatever.
Yep.
But that's where I'm at right now, is that
Yeah.
I'm not making money off of my like original music.
Yeah. Do you travel around, or are you all LA?
Well, the past year I've really been focusing on the 365 project, so I
Okay.
haven't been playing out at all.
Yeah. What? How does that differ from the? So Eric Davis is not First Fire necessarily, even though First Fire is mostly Eric Davis.
Yeah, it's a little bit confusing. So
Eric Bruce Davis or Eric Davis? Because your fucking Instagram handle is Eric Bruce Davis.
it's true, and I'm going to change my Instagram handle. I just haven't figured out when I'd like to change it.
Yeah, no worries.
But yeah, the artist name from this point forward will be Eric Davis.
Eric Davis.
Yeah.
Okay,
as it is on the record.
Good.
And as
Two
it
names
was
are
on the-
easier to remember than three.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. But
And First Fire-
but kudos for including the Bruce.
I know all of it. Come on.
You do.
I
You got it-
did my
you got it
homework.
nailed down.
Messaging you on Instagram.
Yes. Yes.
But okay, so First Fire was you kind of hiring people, or that was a deliberate? Why are you differentiating what you're doing from First Fire?
When I graduated from jazz school, I took 6 months living in Highland Park to really take stock of what I wanted to do, because at
I'm
the
listening.
time I thought that I would merge jazz music and song structure, and like that would be like my thing.
Ooh, yeah.
So then at the end of a couple months of living in Highland Park, I realized that what I really wanted to do was just sing songs that I had written and do it in like an indie rock kind of style.
Yeah.
And the name First Fire for me, like
I love
had
that name, by the way.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yep.
I appreciate that. It had a significance that, like it was me going back to the initial reasons of why I fell in love with music in the first place, and kind of sifting through all of the complicated jazz stuff that I had been studying and getting to, you know, the real stuff down deep at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then it was also a songwriting technique. So all the First Fire songs that I had written, I would sit down with a blank sheet of paper and I would write all the lyrics and the melody from beginning to end on the sheet of paper. And then once that was done, I would arrange the instruments to it. And then like my hope with that is that all of the instrumental arrangements would be supporting the melody and supporting the lyrics and stuff.
Okay.
My intention with 2019 was always to track a First Fire record and then do the 365 project as a personal discipline, which is why I posted the 365 songs on my personal Instagram, and I was still pushing my First Fire Instagram like normal.
Okay.
And still playing First Fire shows like Your Residency and whatever
Right.
else. And then I played a show at Redwood Bar with First Fire, and we were rehearsing all the music before we tracked the record. And from that show, I got strep throat, and I was prescribed these steroids for strep throat. And later,
Prednisone or whatever.
yeah, it's prednisone for sure. Later on, me and my therapist realized that I happen to have a sensitivity to prednisone, and it like severely affects my depression.
I've met a few people who, in particular, have depression, who are extremely sensitive to prednisone. And what's weird is, man, before the end of this last year, I got shingles in my eyeballs, and yeah, it sucked. It was really bad.
Yeah.
Like in the light, you can see the scarring sort of here, and like
Oh, wow.
in the middle of my head, it looks
Yeah.
like I had a pimple or something, but it's a shingles scar that's gonna be there for like months.
Yeah.
Like, and they prescribed me to a bunch of stuff, but they prescribed me to prednisone, and they also prescribed me to literally a prednisone that I had to spray into my eye.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's
because
crazy.
the virus started there.
Fuck.
And look, I understand that the circumstances would probably make me depressed,
Yeah.
especially if you're somebody who's, already got depression anyway. Like,
Sure.
triggers can definitely set it off.
Totally.
But, like, man, I don't know. I can't help but to feel that something chemically.
Oh, I without a doubt was about to get on like SSRIs.
What the hell?
For
No, I've been
100%.
prescribed to those before. I never took them.
Yeah.
I never,
Yeah.
not one day. I took them actually literally one day. I got prescribed to Lexapro or something like that. Whatever the popular one was at the time.
Yeah.
Whatever all the kids were taking, they put me on that. And I just remember it made me feel really funky. I don't think you can feel anything the first day on an SSRI, but like I just, maybe the placebo effect screwed me up. But
Yeah.
I can't, look, I've always thought that, like, look, you deal with the baseline amount of misery being
Totally.
alive,
100%. Yeah.
I don't necessarily want to medicate myself away from that because it takes me away from the experience of life a little too
Yes.
much, you know?
Totally.
And, like, look, while I do want to live my life and be as not miserable as possible, I also want to experience life. So, like, it sucks that I was born with a condition, I guess. But if I can manage with the condition, then who the fuck cares?
Totally. Totally.
It's so, some of that stuff is just like, okay, what we'll do, it's sort of like lobotomy, but we give it to you in a pill form. It just makes these parts of your brain stop working.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, how am I supposed to achieve anything with that?
Yeah, it's wild.
It's like David Foster Wallace. His wife said, like, one of the only reasons he was able to do anything was because he was prescribed these strong SSRIs. What are your favorite places to play in LA?
I love the bootleg, man.
You sounded great there.
Thank you very much.
That sound system is ridiculous, by the way.
Yeah, it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bootleg's great. The Resident is really cool.
Yeah.
Emotionally, I love the Satellite.
Satellite's wonderful, man.
It's just it
I
feels,
love that venue,
feels
dude.
homey.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Really
Absolutely.
does.
Absolutely.
Really,
It's like big
does.
enough that it's not pathetic to play there, and it's
No.
it's small enough that it's like, we can still, also this is
Totally.
like, this is where I play.
Totally.
This is where we do music.
Yeah, it's home base.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and then the hi-hat's really cool. It's just so big.
It's I know the new booker.
Oh, cool.
The hi-hat.
Yeah.
I wish we can talk about
I don't even know who it is.
No, we can talk about
I
it.
just know that Britt pieced out.
She did.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
And
100%. She's cool.
sayonara. And so the new one is she's wonderful. She is a friend of one of
Cool.
my good friends. And so that works out fortuitously. But
Totally.
also, she's really cool. She, has some different things to say about the venue, but she was one of the first things she said to me in a conversation was, I told the owners, like, because the owners are apparently longtime friends of hers.
Cool.
She's like, I told them when they were thinking about setting a venue to move the stage to the back corner. And the first time, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so happy you said that. Because the first time I came into this venue, the first thing I thought is, why in the fuck is the stage facing that wall? And there's that back corner where the stage should obviously be, but no one's over there.
Yeah.
What the hell? Like, obviously, the room is a rectangle.
Yeah.
Put it on one end of the rectangle. Why would you put it where they put it?
It's kind of weird.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'll play the shit out of that place. Like,
Totally.
I think it's hot, it's hip, you know. People
Totally.
fucking love it. Like,
Totally.
the sound has gotten much better since they hired a good sound guy and put some actual soundproofing up.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it was like brick walls. Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
All right, let me see where we're at.
Lots of natural reverb.
Oh my God, we did long. We did good.
Hell yeah.
What else do you want to say? Because I got one question to ask you either way before we wrap it up.
Totally. Well, on the concept of venues, Zebulon is also incredible.
Oh, Zebulon's amazing.
Great.
I saw Ty Segall there.
Wonderful. Hell yeah.
Yeah, like a
Fuck yeah.
super stupid secret show. That
Nice.
like literally I showed there, literally. I showed up there the night before his show, and the bartender served me a cup of cute chick. I don't know.
Nice.
Girl, sorry. I said chick the other day and someone got offended. I'm like,
Who gets offended at a chick?
my aunt, who is a professor at the University of Michigan, as it turns out. So she
She got
would.
offended at chick?
She got very offended at chick. She's
That's
like,
wild.
chick.
Did you
what?"
call her a bitch?
No, I said, oh, what I meant was broads, which is the equivalent of being like, shut up, bitch. Also, like, can you just back off for just a goddamn second? Can you just back off for a goddamn second?
I mean, chick.
Chick?
Really?
I actually
We can't say chick
I'm
now?
saying chick in a casual, like, it's not demeaning at all. Like when I say dude,
Yeah,
that's the guy equivalent of chick.
for sure.
Seriously, it's the same.
Yeah.
It actually means it's kind of a compliment. It means I'm cool enough with you that like I don't even give a fuck to try and be polite, you know? Like, but I'll be not totally like this fucking dyke. Let me tell you something. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying this
Totally.
broad.
Totally.
I love broad, by the way. That's just like,
It's a good word.
why the hell does that even mean woman?
It's a good word.
Broad. This broad over here. I'm telling you what, this fucking broad, like, stupid word. This chick, it's like, okay, fine. This dude, whenever you ever try calling a chick, I was about to say, you ever try calling a chick a dude? They get really offended.
Do they really?
No, not all the time.
I feel like whenever I call a chick a dude, they take a deep sigh of relief that I'm no longer trying to fuck them.
Well, I mean, maybe that, or they're just like, finally, you respect me for who I am. It's like, okay, yeah, whatever, broad. What are you?
I hear you, man.
Are you straight, gay? What?
I'm straight.
Straight.
I like having sex with women.
So with the chicks,
yes,
the broads. Okay.
the broads.
So right. So when you fuck, it's like there's no way to win, man. My
they're the you can win, but they're just not going to talk about it. They only talk about
they'll talk about it to
when
their
you
friends
lose.
though, and one of their friends will come back to you and be like, "She really likes you." It's like, why didn't she tell me that? I've already been considering these other fucking 3 chicks who are messaging me in my Instagram messages.
Well, that's
Slide into my DMs.
that all is a part of her liking you. Is that it took 3 other girls for you to get your attention, for her to realize,
'cause she-
I think I like this.
Because she realized
this
other
man.
girls might want him too. Oh, so he's desirable.
Hey,
Is he
man,
desirable?
Don't hate the game. These are the brains that we've inherited from
Hey, no.
millions of years of fucking.
No, well, that is what I hate about the modern age to a certain degree. Is just like, is it that bad to call out differences among people? It's like these are the things that define us. Also, the fact that we can all say, yeah, those are stupid though, right? That's why we make jokes about them and come together and be like, yeah, but we still, like, we got to do this thing. We're alive and on planet, whatever this is, Earth.
Totally.
Yeah, that's the one. And like how is it offensive to, how?
It's a pendulum that swings back and forth. I
agree with that.
I admire the strong left's desire to have these kinds of thought experiments and to see them to their logical conclusion.
Oh, but it's leading to some bad things.
Well, I mean, the right leads to some bad things as well.
The right leads to horrible things. Both of them do.
We all do bad things.
Yes.
When
Except for me. I am right down the middle. Nothing bad ever happened here.
For me, the issue isn't what side of the fence anyone is on. For me, the issue is when you think that what you think is right
Dogmatically.
and it's a dogma that is in and of itself the human condition that is
100%.
an issue.
100%.
And you find that in Christians, you find that in vegans, you
Never found
that
it in a
in
Christian
flat
before, but I
earths,
assume
you
they
find
do
that- It's every flavor of the human variety. You can find that dogmatic
100%.
thing.
Yeah. Well, and also look, you have to oscillate. I don't know if oscillate. You have to harmonize your worldview, which is let's say your ideology or your philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
You have to harmonize that, and that is how you would ideally have everything be, right? In a perfect world, this is how I would act. This is how other people would act, and this is how things would go, right? You have to harmonize that with this is my worldview, which is, well, this is how I'm practically going to act, and this is how I'm going to rationalize my actions, and everybody fucks up, you know? So you have to figure out how to rationalize your own fuck-ups, you know? And that's what I love is like, look, if you have a consistent and clear worldview going forward, you can rationalize those things because it's like, look, the hurt from me doing wrong, it's going to set me back for however long.
Yeah.
It's going to be a pain in the ass to deal with. But it's better than the people who have this just like tight, rigid worldview, like strict religions. And I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about people with these fucking boxed in ideologies where it's just like, it's not political at all. Sure, it bleeds over into politics, whatever.
Sure.
That's like such a secondary consequence.
Totally.
And that's what I got fucked up on like a couple of years ago. It's just always posting online about politics and shit. It's like, dude, this isn't it.
Yeah.
The deeper level is the philosophical or psychological level, you know, where people get locked into these modes and they can't get out.
Yeah.
Like, it is amazing. All right, so wait, what were your favorite venues? You like the bootleg, you like something else, blah blah blah.
Bootleg, Zebulon.
Zebulon's
Those
awesome.
are those are.
You ever been to the
those are
Moroccan?
top two. I have.
Yeah, that
It's
place
a
is
little
cool. That back
over on
room fucking venue.
Yeah.
Sounds cool.
It sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never played there. No, you know what?
I've never played there. Yeah.
I'm confusing. I'm thinking about the Peppermint Club.
Oh, Peppermint is in Pasadena, right?
No, it's on the west side somewhere.
No, Peppermint isn't that North Hollywood? No,
Pretty sure it's somewhere on the west side, but I could be
might
wrong.
be.
I'm trying to think of if I've ever been to the Moroccan Lounge.
Moroccan is
never
the
been to
Moroccan is
Lounge, actually.
is it Frogtown? It's downtown. It's in this district.
Cool.
It's sort of like when you go to the Resident and you just you get into the parking lot and you're like, where the fuck am I? And then you go to the venue and it's like, oh, this is sick. Like,
Totally. Hell
you ever been to the Factory?
Is that in the Arts District as well?
Warehouse District.
I don't think I have.
I
think I'm thinking of House of Machines.
House of Machines is not in the art. It's on the edge of the Arts District,
Yeah.
sort of. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it's in one of those no man's land places, kind of.
How is it for you living on the west side, like making it out to all these venues?
Okay, so I'm on Pico and Robertson, right? So I'm West Side Light.
Well,
If I was on the actual West Side, like, look where I am now. Believe it or not, I have so many freeways within a mile of me
cool.
that it is incredible to live here. Like, there is nothing where I am, but everywhere I want to go is so easily accessible.
How long does it take you to get to like the satellite?
When?
Like you're trying to get there at 9 p.m. to catch the first band?
30 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, I know. Like, dude, that's what I was saying about the apartment earlier. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
not only like is the apartment pretty cool, but like the commute time to anywhere that I want to go
That's fucking sick.
is dude. Well, like, look, I can jump on the 10 and get on the 405 if I want to go to the Valley.
Sure.
I can get on the 110 if I want to go downtown. I can get on the 5 if I want to go to the Highland Park.
Yeah.
I can get on the 10 if I want to go further than that.
Mm-hmm.
What's the one that the 10 branches off into the one that goes San Diego way? But there's places.
170?
Yeah, that might be
Maybe?
it. That might be it. Yeah.
I don't know.
But whatever these fucking freeways are, yeah. But I can get basically all of like I'm close enough to downtown from where I am that all of the interchanges are around there.
Cool.
Like, yeah, it really is cool.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
It really works out. All right, so I tell you what, one more question, then we'll sign off.
Sure.
2 more questions. One, can I drink the rest of your white dog?
Please do, because I'm not going to.
Are you sure?
100%.
I told you I wanted to introduce you to this, and
You have introduced me.
are you sure you're not a fanatic now? Is it?
I'm not gonna buy the record.
Well, you put your pinky straight up your butt,
I'm
good
not
sir.
gonna- I haven't tried that yet. I'm a novice when it comes to butt
I've
stuff.
done all the other fingers actually.
Started with my thumb.
Yeah, well, obviously. Yeah. Break the seal. Okay, so the one last question. It's the same fucking question I ask everybody, but
Great.
it is an interesting question.
Please.
You got 5 artists,
Cool.
and I mean singer-songwriters, bands, whatever, however you want to gauge it. You're banished to a desert island. You're only allowed to take 5 artists with you. Singer-songwriters, whatever. You can take their entire catalog.
Yeah.
So you could take Frank Zappa's 60 albums or whatever,
Totally.
or you could take Hosier's 2 albums. You know? Whatever they mean to you. So you got 5 artists. You're banished forever.
Totally.
Who do you take?
So we're talking about records to listen to,
Yeah, see, I haven't exactly established that.
or are we talking about taking the actual artists to like hang out with them?
Oh no, records. Yeah,
Okay, we're
taking the
talking about
artist
records.
that might be. I think that's a crime. That'd be like kidnapping, maybe.
Hey man, sometimes
Well, I mean,
you gotta break the law to do what's right.
well, look, passion can make you do crazy things.
What happened to Eric? He got locked up for kidnapping.
He kidnapped Adele. It was weird. We told him she wasn't that good.
He went on this podcast and he said okay, so if we're talking,
Was it a popular podcast? No. It was the opposite of that.
Okay, so we're talking 5 artists. So I'm gonna say Bill Frisell, who is my favorite jazz guitarist.
Okay. I don't know who the hell that is.
That's all right. You don't need to.
Well, who is he?
Well, he's my favorite jazz guitar player. He's
What's he
he's,
known for?
Playing incredible jazz guitar music. He's
Fucking hate jazzers. Oh my God. Fuck you people.
He's not known for like anything in pop culture, unfortunately. Unfortunately. So Bill Frisell, and then
Frizzell. Bill
Frizzell.
Frizzell. Okay.
Frizzell, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I would take Chet Baker.
All right. I'll stand behind that.
Who is my favorite jazz singer.
Okay.
/ trumpet player, but mostly singer. So that would be my like jazz vocal music.
At least I know Chet Baker.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
Bill Frisell. I don't know that
It's
guy.
all right. No stress, dude. No stress.
I'm not stressed.
He's one of the main reasons.
What do you
that-
consider stressed? Like now I'm stressed. Now I'm very stressed. What the fuck is up with your watch beeping?
my watch beeps every hour on the hour.
Why?
Because I teach and it's helpful for me when I'm
Oh,
teaching.
dude. Can I give you a new watch? I got some watches.
No, I can turn that off if I wanted to, but I
Why
like,
don't you?
I
That's
like
so
it-
stressful.
I like it on.
I'm just fucking around.
So
But seriously, I'm going to have a fucking stroke.
well,
Do you know
careful.
what to do? in the event that
In
I
the
do.
event that you have a stroke,
I think you have to give me a banana.
I'd call 911.
Well, the banana is the. I think the banana will solve it.
And then I'd pray for you a whole lot.
Okay, good. Well,
Lots of prayer.
actually, I was going to be very worried if you didn't say prayer. Okay, so we got Bill Frisell, Chet Baker.
Yeah, Bill Frisell, Chet Baker. The third one would be David Bazan, who is the front man of Pedro the Lion. It's just
Jesus Christ,
bands, singers, songwriters.
I feel
bands.
uneducated.
His discography is really important to me.
I'm expecting you to say Nick Drake at some point.
The fourth one is probably going to be Radiohead.
Word.
And
Radiohead would be
then-
in my top 5 of all time for sure.
100%.
I am a
And
huge
then-
Radiohead fan.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And then the fifth one, it really pains me to
Is this not going to be Nick Drake?
Well, the fifth one, it really pains me to not pick any classical composers. Like
Okay.
I might switch
No,
out
I understand.
Radiohead
I
for
understand.
some classical shit, but the fifth one
keep
has
Radiohead.
to be the
Keep Radiohead.
Beatles.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Beatles
Yeah.
are awesome.
Yeah,
I would maybe take them too.
Yeah,
Because fuck anybody. Whenever people are like, yeah, the Beatles are overrated, I'm like,
no way.
Nope, they're not.
Zero.
They're not.
They're not overrated.
they're not overrated
at all.
No,
not
they're,
one.
They're rated
second.
accurately.
Yeah, they are. They are the greatest rock band ever.
If you think about the way that like things have to go, like there has to be a best,
Yes, and the Beatles are it,
and they're pretty much it.
and that's unequivocally true.
Show me another band who made that many awesome albums, awesome songs,
There is none.
killed it for that many decades, not
There is
just years.
none.
I didn't just say years. I said motherfucking decades, motherfucker.
There is
Like,
none.
Oh my God.
There is none.
Congrats to you for fucking choosing them. What was the other one? Radiohead? Dude,
Yeah, Radiohead.
what's your favorite Radiohead album? I'll kill you if you answer wrong. I will. You will not leave here alive. If you say Amnesiac, I will
It's
push you
not-
off a building.
It's favorite is an interesting term.
No,
for me
favorite is deliberately
because-
subjective.
Yeah, favorite is
Yeah.
is.
It doesn't mean best. It doesn't mean what do you think is their best. It means what's your favorite.
My favorite Radiohead release is Airbag, which I think is a 4-track or 5-track EP.
yeah, yeah.
If we're talking about
So,
the
Kid A?
studio records,
Yes, I am. Say Amnesiac, and I will put you in the oven.
It's gotta be OK Computer.
Okay, thank
I
God.
think OK
Thank
Computer is
God.
my
Okay,
favorite.
Computer is an amazing record.
I mean, they're all incredible.
Yes, they are.
They're all.
Did you like Moonshade Pool?
Stupid incredible. I love Moonshade
Yeah.
Pool.
I think.
I'm a part of the weird sect of music listeners where I actually really like it when artists develop and like
100%.
do different things.
100 fucking
And I'm like
percent.
very open to the latest records.
This is. I imagine you're not a huge fan of them. Pearl Jam.
I haven't really spent time with them.
Okay,
I don't know.
so I'll say, for what they do,
Yeah.
they're amazing.
Yeah.
And they've managed to be amazing for years. And
Yeah.
they actually probably have, I'd say, maybe 3 albums that are just like mind-blowingly good. Put it up against any other genres that are close to it. And I think rock encapsulates a lot. You know, like I love rock as a genre
Totally.
because it's just like, okay, anything that you can cram into this extremely loose genre, you know? What I love about Pearl Jam, though, is exactly what I don't love about Radiohead, and what I love about Radiohead is what I don't love about Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
Radiohead has decided we're gonna keep pushing ourselves and do whatever like that. What's the it's the second song on the newest Radiohead album, the Moonshade Pool, that has the fucking rushing string
Burn the
instruments.
Witch.
Maybe it's that.
Dugga, dugga, dugga,
Yes.
dugga,
Yeah.
dugga. Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
I've never heard a rock band do that.
It's incredible.
Pearl Jam's idea of, hey, it's our 15th album and we're going to make music is like, we're just going to try to make you happy the way we did 20 years ago. It's like,
Totally.
okay, that's a way to do things.
Sure, yeah.
And you know what? I like some of this. I can't respect it as much as the way Radiohead's doing things, though. Like, because, oh my God. Well, Radiohead's just too good. We got to end it.
Yeah, they're incredible.
We got to fucking end it. Otherwise, we'll both It is 4 a.m.
This is your show, man. I'm here for as long as you'd like.
Oh, no. Well, let me see. 105. Okay, so what we can do a bonus addendum.
Sure.
I read a book once, and the addendum, that was a word that I read,
Nice.
and I'm pretty sure that's how you use it.
Nice.
I'm almost positive.
I love it.
Bonus addendum. Okay, so we'll say bye to the dumb people now.
Hey, can I plug my shit first?
Yeah, of course you can plug your shit. I'm gonna plug it wherever I can, but yeah, plug it.
I have a record
What?
that I just released.
Oh.
It's 11 of my favorite songs
From
my
365
365 daily song challenge. It's called 365, and it's on Spotify. It's on Bandcamp. It's on Napster. It's on anywhere you could want to listen to music. You can go check it out, and you can follow me on Instagram at Eric Bruce Davis, and you can also,
Except for that name might change very soon.
yeah, it may change soon, but you can be on the lookout for a podcast that I'm going to be dropping soon.
Hell yeah! What's the name of the podcast?
The podcast is called "Will You Be My Friend?"
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I read about that.
Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
and
Am I gonna be on it? Can I be on it?
You can totally.
Can I be on
that
it?
episode?
I'll be your friend.
100%. Well, don't tell me now. It's for the end of the episode.
Oh,
That's,
okay,
That's
okay.
when we decide.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
And then if you are in Los Angeles, keep an ear out for April. I'm going to be headlining a really cool show in April in Los Angeles.
Cool. Yeah. This will be out way before then. So.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, we're gonna go into bonus content and I don't know, follow him and all that stuff. Cool.
Yeah.
Brah, brah. Gotta figure out how to do the bonus content.
Nice plug. Plugged well. Professional pluggers.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I'd say.
I can absolutely clip that. I'm gonna clip it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, that was good and long.
It was probably 3.5 hours, right?
That's what she said. Yeah. It's 2.5.
Yeah, you can cut it as much as you want.
Oh no.
Or leave it.